Success has always been costly. To come into success, it has never been a day's job. And so when people say that now it looks as if people are desperate for success, our young ones are desperate for success, our young ones are doing anything just to have success, and this is strange to them, I say no, it's not strange. Our fathers were desperate for success. Those who were desperate for success among them, they went to deeper lengths. They went to deeper extents to get their wealth. Yes, today people release their own sex videos just so that they can trend. You know, people release their news so that they can trend. It is expensive, yes, but can you compare that to when our fathers gave their mothers? It's happening all over again. It's repeating itself. I know. I'm just saying that generations before us, you know, not only will they release their mothers to be used, release their wives to be used, release their fertility to be used, they will also go further. You know, the herbalist might tell them that, look, you are going to be wealthy, but be wealthy only for 10 years and you're gone. And they take it. So success has always been expensive. It's not just in our generation. What needs to be done about it is what we'll talk about. Good evening, good evening. It's nice to have you. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, I'll be talking about the fact that you should stop lamenting and start acting. Tonight, I am addressing those who have followers, that have large followership. Well, whether small or large, people who have people they influence and who want to pass their influence, who want to do something with the people they have in their hands. There are people who have 500 people following them. They don't know exactly what to do with them, apart from the fact that they come and teach them, and they've been teaching them for years, and they still feel like if there's something more they could do, but they don't know it. People gather every year to come and meet you, or they gather every month to come and meet you, or they even come every week, or you are the one that you have a congregation that people come 3 times a week. Yet, because you are called to teach them, you teach, and teach, you do not know how to carry them further. Tonight, you and I will look at it together. And I believe that by the time you're through, you might have gained something about what you should do, so that you can stop lamenting and start doing something about it. First, you know, like I shared this morning on TikTok, it is time to begin to create platforms. If you are a leader, you are the head of something, you carry large following, followership, it is time to begin to create platforms. Now, the platform on which you are preaching is one, you know, and everybody is looking up to you. You know, they come and they hear you preach and talk and all that. But amongst them, you have businessmen, you know, they don't have room to talk, they don't have room to do anything there, you know, and they are outside. When they are through listening to you, they go out and struggle, you know, just to make their own ends meet in their businesses. It is time for you to create platforms through which people can make wealth, legitimate wealth. It doesn't matter, you are a pastor. You are a pastor, so you are called to teaching. You are a GO, so yours is the word of God. Yes, and I'm not calling you away from your call. But to add to that which you are called to do, to understand that when you talk, you must be ready to back your talk with your work, is that it is time to create platforms. For instance, very easy example, if you're going to create platforms for those who sing, for those who have talent in music, so that they will not be frustrated enough to do the desperate thing, so that they will not be frustrated enough to join those who are looking for fame by all means, because they cannot see any hope of making it at all, you know, so that they don't join them and go and release their sex tape next thing, from being in the choir to releasing sex tape. It is time for you to have production houses, music production house, simply because You want people to find expression. Not because you need to make more money. No. In fact, for many GOs and many founders of churches and many people who have large organizations of any kind, what they need to eat or to be, they are already satisfied. So if it is because of their own needs alone, they don't need to add anything to themselves. Good men of God who have sold themselves to serving God and they've been teaching for years, if as they are, what they have to eat and to live on, they are fine. They will not create anything else till they die. But I am saying tonight, not because of yourself, not because of your children, but because that is the main solution for the assignment ahead. It's that you need to create platforms. In the music industry, as I said, stop leaving it only to Naira Marley to create platforms. If Naira Marley creates a platform, as he has created a platform for young artists to come in, one is looking at how to make his money. That is legit. You know, he's looking at how to continue his own kingdom and empire, which you can't blame him. But more importantly is that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. He's the one that dictates the lyrics, the kind of lyrics he wants to hear. If he wants to hear dirty talk, whoever he puts on the platform will give him dirty talk. Apart from that, his own way of life, sorry, not criticizing him in particular, this is common with almost all the artists we have right now. If he wants to, whoever he raises will probably, look at him and pattern their lives after him. That is it. He who pays the piper. And he's the one that anyone is looking at. It's not just him. Olamide, Don Jazzy, any one of them who have created platforms right now for our young ones. People are going to pattern themselves after them. They are good men who are doing good, legitimate work. But I am saying, coming from the perspective of the kingdom, that if we want to improve, we want to have better moral values, and even more importantly, if we want to snatch people away from the devil, snatch people away from going for the desperate measure to make money or to make ends meet or to make success or to become popular, if you want to snatch them, then you must create alternative avenues for making it. No matter who you are, general, overseer, it is time to create alternative avenues. If, for instance, you are a man with money, with means, and God has led you, or you have felt the need to establish a university, and you have a private university right now, and you are churning out graduates every year, you are okay. The kind of millions that come out of this is okay for you and your family for life till you die, and your children will still enjoy, and your children's children will enjoy. So if you don't even do anything apart from this, you are fine. But because it is not just about you, we're talking about a nation that we want to save right now. We're talking about a people, a generation, in fact, generations of our children that needs to be saved right now. Because of them, you will create platforms for creating jobs. You will intentionally go into job creation, businesses coming out of this university, because you want to save people on the streets. It is time to create platforms, be it business platforms, for job creation, or is it musical one, is it film production, you will go into things, you understand, that will make people find a place, whether it is those who are looking for 9-to-5 jobs, it is those who want to make it big and become famous, or you must create platforms for people to find expression. That is one solution that needs to be embarked on right now. Irrespective of if you are full, you have eaten and you are full, and you think you don't need to create anything again, you will create it because people need it, and you have the means, and you have the platform. Creating platform. Apart from that, there is need to support creation of platforms. Now, I first talked about creating platforms, but the other one is there are those who will create platforms if you will support them. Yesterday, I talked about mobilizing. That it's time to mobilize people. That After you have talked and talked for many years, you have been talking to them, it's time to mobilize them to do. Now, I am talking about the fact that there are those who already have platforms, who it is time for you to support them so that they can expand those platforms for the sake of rescuing people from the streets. Now, the cost of fame, the cost of success, the cost of even getting by in Nigeria has become so high. People go to school for 20 years and then come out, and that's when you tell them that they should go and look for what to do for themselves, because government cannot provide. They were not actually looking for government to provide jobs, but at least if you raise people for 20 years to go and fit into something, there must be something for them to fit themselves into. And so it is time for you as leaders. As I said tonight, I'm talking with leaders who have people under their influence. It is time for you to support those under you to go and build. Now, it's one thing for the church itself to have to decide that they want to have a microfinance bank all over the country so that they can employ people, they can give this and, you know, just because of people. Or they can decide to have another kind of business, you know, different ones, just so that they can rescue people. The bank, the church itself can do that, and I believe they are doing it. But you will not do it in a small way. You will do it with a vision of you want to rescue 500,000 people. You want to rescue 100,000 people. I mean, our God is big enough. That is one side. But the other one I'm talking about now is that there are people under you who you can see. They are ready made with those things. They will do it if only you will just show them that they should do it. There are those under you. It's not money that is even their problem. The fact is that they are not confident enough. They are not seeing people doing it near them, so they don't know if it is something that is worthwhile. Or they are comfortable with their family and they believe they are already doing God's work by coming to church and giving to church, and then they fold their arms. They are fine. So what they need is you showing them, supporting them, instigating them, mobilizing them to go out and go and create platforms for people to find expression, to work, or to become famous, to become, to be able to express the talent God has given to them, so that they will not be so desperate as to take all the expensive routes that are out there. Expensive routes like shaking the bum, going naked, butt naked online, shaking it so as to have light, so as to just to survive, to have something to eat or to go to school. You know, those expensive routes, so that they will not be so desperate to take them. It's time to support those who are under you to go and establish, to go and create platforms that people will find expression. And this will only help them to fulfill their callings, because you are not going to force them or ask them to go in the line of your own thoughts. It is to go and establish based on what they are created with, what God has created inside of them. It is now the time for you to support those who are under you to go and create platforms. Now, the third one is that it is also time for you to lobby big platforms that are already in existence. Now, let me make this clear. You know, I first said it's time to create platforms. When you have people under you who are coming out and they need to have somewhere to go to when they leave your church, when they leave under your influence, create platforms. I also said it's time to support the creation of platforms by those who are under you, or even people outside. Support them, encourage them, mobilize them to create platforms for job creation, for all that. I said it too. Now, the third one that I'm going to mention is that it is also time to lobby created platforms. What do I mean by lobbying? That word comes from what happens at the red chamber, the green chamber, and all that. When you want to present a bill, you go there, but before you go there, you go back, at the back, background, you're already, yeah, good evening, I can see you, Oladele, thanks for joining us. You know, you go behind to go and lobby your other members. You go and lobby them to vote for your bill to when it comes in the house. This is what I call lobbying. It is time for you as an influencer, as a man with a big congregation, or a man with a big following or followership somewhere, to lobby others who have this big following and to pattern what they are doing according to God's own desire and pattern. Maybe right now the person has a big platform, but the platform is anti-God, is anti-God, you know, is anti-morals, is and the person doesn't really care. Yeah, you may not be able to convince those who swore to the devil before they started, but many people did not swear to anything. You know, they're just using their success as in nobody has come to lobby them, whether from God or from Satan. And they are, of course, the natural thing is that it's most likely that they tend towards the immoral. So it's asking now, the thing is, you as a leader of note, that people know in the society, it's time to give a call to these big names out there who are right in the center of things going wrong. Many of them, their parents raised them well. It's just that as time went on, there was nothing to keep them, you know, focused. You know, and they found no reason to be focused, and they are not encouraged by the church or encouraged by maybe if they are Muslims, they are not encouraged from where they're coming from too. So they decided to just do whatever came into their mind, and they've been doing so. So if you lobby them, you will be shocked that they were actually raised clapping, good morning, Jesus, good morning, Lord. So they have it in them that if they are called, they will actually come back home. So it's time for you to lobby bigger platforms so that, apart from being morally pure, better than they are right now, I mean, stopping all the taking of drugs and all that, which other people are emulating under them, you also want them to expand. You want them to expand. If you are talking about Olamide, for instance, where he is right now, he doesn't need to do anything more. He keeps enjoying his money. He's getting youth to come, and a few of them, you raise them, and that's all. But if you are able to lobby someone like that, or Don Jazzy, or any of them, using these popular names that we know, and they agree, and they come with you, they will not only do one small thing that they are doing, they will now go ahead and build something much bigger, so that so many can come under the umbrella. Not necessarily so that the ones that will have fame, because how much is the percentage that can get up there, up there, you know? But that they will create platforms that will give room for people to find expression, you know, and to also be able to at least some of them just to find a living. That's all they are looking for. So it's time for good people, godly people, to go out and establish platforms, go out and support the establishment of platforms, you know, for making wealth and for generating wealth, and for making resources, having resources for people to find their means of livelihood. And it's also time for them to lobby those ones who have already been created, that they be better platforms and they be bigger platforms, so that people can find expressions, and so that people will no longer be so desperate to go to any length just so that they can make it, or so that they can survive. That is my word for today. Thank you for joining us. Please, let's meet again tomorrow. Thank you.
There you go.